All right, Christian Preuss with CPLA. We're here on the episode 3 of the Cornerstone with Sarah Sislak from the Eastern Shore MPO. And I want to start out with an icebreaker question. I didn't prep you for this one, but what is your favorite movie and why?
Oh gosh. So I'm not a huge movie person.
Okay,
So in general,
all right, well.
I don't really watch a lot of movies,
Okay.
but maybe Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, okay.
That's kind of like a classic.
South Alabama, yeah, okay. I
Winston
like that.
Groom,
Yep, Winston Groom from Fairhope.
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out to Winston Groom.
Yeah.
All right, well, Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of how your background and how you got to be in the Eastern Shore MPO and involved with that organization.
Sure. So I'm from Silver Hill, which is about 15 minutes from Fairhope. Went to the University of Alabama, graduated from there in 2011.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. With my degree in marketing and international business. So I would say that my education is probably a little bit different than most people in our profession.
Yeah.
So I was actually hired on at the MPO to do the public outreach and like the public participation side of it. And I really just like loved the transportation part of it.
Yeah.
So over the next 2 years, I started with MPO in 2013. Over the next 2 years, I just kind of like poured myself into it and just tried to learn all the technical aspects of it. And then in 2015, the previous director left for another job, and I applied and been the director ever since.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so for those that are not in the acronym world, what does MPO mean, and what type of organization is it?
So it stands for Metropolitan Planning Organization,
Okay.
and we are a federally funded, federally mandated transportation planning group. So basically we have member governments from once an area reaches a certain threshold of population density, it's considered urban.
Okay.
When it reaches that point, MPO is formed, and then we are here to basically facilitate the collaboration of planning, because as we know, problems don't stop at the city limits
Sure,
or the
yeah.
boundaries. So we're here to kind of bring the stakeholders and the municipalities together to work together.
Okay, so let's talk about that with Baldwin County. I mean, it is one of the fastest growing counties in the United States. Every year, I feel like it goes up one in the top 10 ranking, and so you've got a big job, like you said, of facilitating things beyond the city limit lines and looking at the greater good. So talk about the growth in Baldwin County and then how the MPO translates that to different municipalities within that.
So as you said, we are growing just steadily, and I remember when we first did our projections back in 2015, everybody said that's crazy growth projection year by year. There's no way that we'll ever reach that, and we have exceeded that every year.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that we, try to keep a hold of and monitor, and we try to basically build our projects around where the growth is happening. Obviously, we have no control over the growth, but if we can help build projects that will accommodate or help things run more efficiently.
Okay, so you mentioned projects. We've worked together on some things over the years, and I know y'all do a lot of good work in helping communities get funding for quality of life projects, transportation related projects. Talk about a few of those and kind of how your role in that helps shape the communities that are in the Eastern Shore.
Sure. So we do get a certain amount of funding per year to use on road and bridge projects, sidewalk projects. We get a separate pot for transit. So we're actually here at Arts Alley, one of the projects that you and I worked on. And this was with the city of Fairhope. So this was from the transit funds. But we've done several. We do roundabouts, intersection improvements, turn lanes, anything, We've done adaptive signal systems on US 98 to try to use some ITS, try to be a little more innovative and not just, adding cement everywhere.
Yeah.
We do sidewalk projects. We're expanding the Eastern Shore Trail. So we do try to touch on all the different elements, not just road, cars.
Yep.
Type
So
projects.
give me an example of the types of people you work with within municipalities.
Yeah.
Who are those people, and how does that relationship work?
So I work closely with the city engineers, the public works directors, people like that. And then I work closely with the elected officials. So we have mayors and city councilmen and then county commissioners that we work with that basically ultimately decide where our funding goes.
Okay.
And so they all work together to kind of decide which projects are priorities and would be the most impactful to the community.
Yeah.
And so It's really getting all of them, and then also work very closely with the Alabama Department of Transportation and the Federal Highway Administration.
And do y'all have like monthly meetings or quarterly
We
meetings?
have quarterly meetings,
Okay.
and so we do have 3 committees, and then the policy board, who is the elected officials. So we have one group that's focused on bike ped, so they're the bike ped committee. And then we have the citizens committee, and their background ranges just all over. It's a very broad group of people that give their input on the project. And then we have the technical committee that is the public works director, city engineer. So a little more technical and kind of looking from the actual city and member government side. And then they make recommendations to the policy board, and the policy board ultimately decides.
Yeah. I mean, that was really one of the reasons I wanted to interview for the Cornerstone, because it really, your role is it has a wide cross section of people that you interact with, both on the politics level, the engineering level, the implementation, and a lot of the projects that you work on probably are like, some of them may have a short-term gratification, but some of them take years of planning, discussion, funding allocation, those types of things. And so it's really a good example, kind of a behind the scenes of how work happens and gets funded and gets done. And so kudos to you for being that person that kind of is the person behind the scenes that gets funding in the right place and works with those municipalities. So you've been here for a while now, and you've got some years working with MPO, seen some projects happen, seen the growth in Baldwin County. What do you hope in the next, say, 10 years, y'all are able to influence and work on as an organization to better Baldwin County?
So what I really would like to focus on, and what I've focused on basically my whole career, is trying to leverage the dollars that we have, because obviously with the growth, funding's always an issue. It's an issue for everybody. We don't get enough money to solve all the problems.
Sure.
So trying to really find projects that are going to impact the most amount of people, be the most beneficial to quality of life, and just people's day-to-day life, so that we can impact and improve the most amount of people that we can. And so whether that be, one project that we're all aware of is Mobile River Bridge. We've been very involved in that.
Okay.
And we're seeing that move forward finally. There was a big announcement today. That's going to be breaking ground before the end of the year. And then we've also been, so we do a long range plan that we use data-driven, travel model to kind of look at a broader scope. And then we kind of narrow down into what areas, and then we get into what improvements would work best, to feasibility studies. And so just we will be doing a broad range, from intersection improvements, roundabouts, adding lanes.
That shows a spectrum of the Mobile Bay Bridge, that is a massive project, down to intersections and sidewalks. I mean, that's just a wide array of $1 billion funding to $30,000 projects and everything in between. That's really cool. All right, so what's the most rewarding thing about what you get to do?
So the best thing about my job is seeing projects come to fruition, and then seeing how they improve the community, and seeing that benefit, seeing it in real life and seeing the benefit and how it improves people's lives. It's really fulfilling to me to give back to the community and be able to see that I've made it better. And I'm just a small part of the process, obviously.
Well, but a huge part. It wouldn't happen without your involvement, especially on the front end. This project's a good example. We talked about that just a little while ago, about just kind of where this alley was probably 8 years ago, and then where it is today, kind of in the heart of downtown Fairhope. And so your involvement, especially on the front end, working with DOT and solidifying the LPA funds to go towards this project. And then you were involved in some of the engagement with the community, with BRATS, the transit organization for Baldwin County, and really a critical piece in getting this built. So talk a little bit about that and your involvement in that.
So I do want to mention too, that something I haven't mentioned, that another part that I really enjoy is being able to interact with the citizens. just at all different levels. Sometimes they're upset, and I like being able to like talk through them, talk with them through projects, and kind of at the end of the conversation, us, being on the same page, and just trying to get people to be involved and have a say so in their communities.
Yeah.
So not only do I get to interact with, the elected officials, the technical, engineers, ALDOT, FHWA, which I all really enjoy all of those relationships that I have, but also just getting the opportunity to go out and meet different citizens. And
there is something rewarding about civic engagement that it allows you to hear kind of what the perspectives are in the community. And, there's a lot of, everybody's got opinions. But being able to navigate that, like even, with this project, just as an example of one we worked on, like we heard a lot of feedback, right?
Yes.
There was a whole spectrum of feedback through that process, from like, we need, one of the first things was we need a restroom. Well, it was really, that wasn't a part of this project to start with, but that was some of the feedback that we took into consideration. And we're able to design and build this restroom behind us, which was interesting. And
that's one of my favorite parts of this project. I'm very proud of this project. I'm very proud to have been a part of it. But just having your team too, especially to be able to kind of take it, like it evolved so greatly. It evolved from a transit stop to restrooms to drainage improvements to a whole alley revitalization
and large scale public art.
Yes, and tying it all in, and the partnerships that were involved in that outside of government. So that's one of like my favorite parts of this project. And in other projects that you start with, just you have a need, and then you find a solution, and you can just see it evolving and becoming just something bigger than you ever thought it would.
That is rewarding, and it along the same lines of what we get to do. And that's why I think it's so interesting to get different people's perspectives on how projects start on paper or an idea, then they become, gain some traction, gain momentum through the political levels, and then you get people excited about it, get funding, and then all of us that are left standing at the end feel so proud of whatever's accomplished. And so I think that is really, we share that kind of in kind of the just being proud of what we get to accomplish, whether through having those conversations with people on the front end or just working with contractors and engineers. Right. For us, at least the collaborative spirit of getting a project built is very rewarding when you get to finally cut that ribbon. So,
completely agree.
Well, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. It is, for those of y'all online, it is about 103 degrees right here. So Sarah is a trooper. We just had to get just the right sun angle. So hopefully y'all can appreciate our diligence and effort in standing here in the sun. But thank you for your time. And really, really excited about sharing what you do for the greater Baldwin County through the MPO and just your efforts in making projects happen in our community. So
thank you, Christian. It's always a pleasure being with you. So good to see you.
Yep, good to see you. Thank you.